Once again, it's a privilege to be welcomed into your homes. Today we are reading from 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 9 to 20. Hannah rose after a meal at Shiloh and presented herself before the Lord. At the time, Eli, the priest, was sitting on a chair near the doorpost of the Lord's temple. In her bitterness, she prayed to the Lord, weeping copiously, and she made a vow, promising, O Lord of hosts, if you look with pity on the misery of your handmaid, if you remember me and do not forget me, if you give your handmaid a male child, I will give him to the Lord for as long as he lives. Neither wine nor liquor shall he drink, and no razor shall ever touch his head. As she remained long at prayer before the Lord, Eli watched her mouth, for Hannah was praying silently. Though her lips were moving, her voice could not be heard. Eli, thinking her drunk, said to her, How long will you make a drunken show of yourself? Sober up from your wine. It isn't that, my lord, Hannah answered. I am an unhappy woman. I have had neither wine nor liquor. I was only pouring out my troubles to the Lord. Do not think your handmaid and never do well. My prayer has been prompted by my deep sorrow and misery. Eli said, Go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him. She replied, Think kindly of your maidservant, and left. She went to her quarters, ate, and drank with her husband, and no longer appeared downcast. Early the next morning, they worshipped before the Lord, and then returned to their home in Ramah. When Elkanah had relations with his wife Anna, the Lord remembered her. She conceived, and at the end of a term bore a son, whom she called Samuel, since she had asked the Lord for him. Prayer does not always have to be measured and controlled. It can be spontaneous and blunt at times. We have a good example of that kind of prayer in the reading. It is said that Anna spoke to God out of the depth of her grief and resentment. Her prayer was silent. The priest Eli heard nothing and only saw her lips move, yet it was full of emotion. As she said to Eli, she was pouring out her soul before the Lord. She was being herself before the Lord, opening up to the Lord the resentment and the sadness that was in her heart and soul, because she had been childless for so long. Hannah's prayer shows us that our own prayer can be completely honest. We do not have to censure our prayer in the Lord's presence. There is nothing in our lives that is out of bounds in our prayer. The Lord can deal with whatever we throw at him in prayer. Dear friends, whenever we open our hearts to the Lord, revealing to him what is there, including our darkest emotions, we too experience the Lord's healing and calming presence. Shalom.